Welcome to my podcast. It's your boy Corey. How you say it is Hooray. And I'm gonna introduce my partner in crime, my buddy, my business partner, who?
Charlie
Charlie
Williams.
Williams. Charlie, introduce yourself.
My name is Charlie Williams once again. I major in business administration in North Carolina Central, and I'm just grateful here to be on the podcast today.
Alright. That's our boy. He gonna help us with the segments. Charlie, can you explain some things you're doing in your life right now that's making a difference in the world?
So I'm a visionary of a brand called LBC, Legacy Beyond Control. It's a brand that's basically with many things, many services of the people, training, mental health, like I said, fitness. Just a lot of things, a lot of great things, just to put many platforms to shine a light onto others. So I'm just grateful, appreciate everything, never take anything for granted. Just really, like I said, I'm really grateful.
Yeah, I really appreciate that. So today this podcast is called Rose Out of Concrete. Black men in America, our struggles, our stories, our difficulties in life, what's going on. We should the reason this podcast being made, because we got to address mental health issues in the black community, especially among men. I don't think we talk to each other that much about things, and I don't know. How you feel about that, Charlie? I mean, we focus a lot on the physical, but do we focus on the mental, or is that something we don't supposed to really talk about nowadays?
I feel like we've been brought up to focus on the physical, as African American men. We taught to not express our feelings, just suck it up, hold it in, on to the next. Which really that's really enabling us to find more of ourselves. We should be expressive more, to express our feelings to when we feel, because we are human, and it's just how we grew up from generation to generation. So we have to break that curse to grow.
I don't know. Do you think there's like barriers that African American men got to overcome?
Barriers.
Well, hold on, because I made a mistake. We're gonna get through that later in the podcast. But what we now addressing is, let me introduce myself before we get further. I don't call ahead of myself. But I'm Corey Robinson, political science major at North Carolina Central. Excited to graduate this year. I tell you one thing, mental health is a big issue for me, because I be tired and exhausted from this year. I'm exhausted, and I think one of the things that this may be a healthy mechanism that could help us express our thoughts, our needs, our wants, our desires. What information we share with one another can help us progress on in this culture. Is this culture, some of the questions is this culture made against us,
Mm-hmm.
Are we, what's the opposition? Why is there so much opposition towards many African Americans, especially the men? Is African American men holding up their part in the family? Have there been structures that broke away from the African American family? Those type of questions come on with generational clauses, because I feel as though that many of us had a father in our lives but really weren't there, or he wasn't in the household like he supposed to be, or he was in and out, get what he wanted, and go about his day. So the first question is stereotypes. We're gonna go. What are some stereotypes against African American males?
Like we touched on, you're supposed to be tough,
Mm-hmm.
and being having a stereotype as black men, you're supposed to have thick skin.
Mm.
So for us, we had to take that and find other outlets. But like hurt people. So later on, we become the ones that's hurt. We're building up all the anger, all the frustration, all the stress, and the ones that's close to us, they become damaged. It's like a domino effect. So it's like when even it comes down to having a woman, if you don't have balance, she becomes that punching bag, not physically but mentally, because you hurt, you not healed yet. So we have to overcome the struggles, find an outlet, but actually express ourselves. Just start expressing it through whatever you passionate about. Maybe it's through music, maybe it's through spoken word, or maybe you got to get professional help.
Maybe it's through a podcast.
Exactly. Many outlets. So, yeah.
One of the craziest things, I wonder, did you face this as a kid, or what's your height?
5'6".
So you 5'6", I'm 6'3", was 6'2.5". I wonder, you may not have it, you may not experience in a similar way that I have, but did you, in sports, did a lot of people tell you too short to be playing that sport, or you're not big enough? In my case, you big, your big ass need to play football.
Mm-hmm.
Did you, cause I was kind of forced to play sports because of my height and my size. And, I think kind of people took that for granted. Cause I really want into sports. For you, that may have been different for me. I was not into sports at all. I cared shit for it.
It was, yeah, like you said, it was opposite. It was like, I grew up in a house, like sports was like a religion, but it was like, if you're good at it, you work at it.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like I always had short people. It was like the normal, like my family's short, but we had a talent of being short of, you be quick, you fast. It was like a natural thing. So in that, like I said, that was my outlet of freeing my mind from all the stress, the dysfunction in the house. I never wanted to stay in the house. I always was an outside kid. So, I use that as my outlet to free my mind, to embrace that childhood. But yeah, it was always pitfalls throughout the journey of, you too small, you too short. Always doubters because people put their fears on you. But you gotta keep it pushing through all that.
Have you ever wondered why do people put their fears upon others?
Because it's never been done. People fear the unknown. It's never been done. Yeah.
Yeah. So do you believe some of these stereotypes that, we said, like, big guy, black men should play sports, black men are the number one most athletic? Do you think those stereotypes and others define African Americans?
No, because we are great in many things, even like beyond ourselves. We are great. You can't force anybody to become that, because eventually they're gonna outgrow that and find and peel another core purpose of themselves each and every phase of their life. So you gotta, whatever they passionate in, you have to encourage them, even at a young age. Their imagination big, make them believe it. Make them believe that they can become and do anything they put their mind to. And their passions they'll be free, outspoken, and just free. You know.
You know, as we step upon height, I was reading this article about how height plays a major role in stereotypes. Like, big black men are dangerous. Black men are more dangerous. They ain't friendly because of their height. Some of that stereotypes playing a role of height. Do you kind of believe that?
No, it's what you apply yourself. But yeah, the stereotypes is like, or what they say, like, great things comes in small packages, or like big and dumb. Let them play football. Like, no, it's what you apply yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the mind, the physical. It doesn't matter if the mind is not stable. It's not balanced.
So, kind of let's get up on this one. Do black men accept these stereotypes, or move on, or do we just stand against the notion? Because in your case, you stand against the notion, and as I was too. But some men who are not highly educated may, or may not, or some of them that brainwashed may stand up on these notions and accept them.
I feel like it got to deal with your purpose and the environment, who you surround yourself around. Okay, it can be an older guy, he still want to live in his 20s. It can be like I said, he's 70 years old trying to live in his 20s. It can be the young guy that he wants to grow. But I feel like as soon as you grow, like you in your childhood, you forced to accept those stereotypes until you start learning yourself. You start challenging your fears. So once you step into them fears, beyond them fears, you started to wake up. You started to wake up and find those stereotypes is nothing but feeding the ego instead of the soul. So you have to keep peeling them layers off, so you can find your true self. Yeah.
I like that. So that kind of to go in, because you already stepped into the mindset and behavior. So does that trickle down effect of the family upbringing play a role in the young man's future? So that question is saying, how does family play a role in one's upbringing as a young black man?
Fear, dysfunction, again, it's all, everything is aligned together. It's connected. It's people tell you can't do something. If you grew up with no encouragement, it's no hope. It's no faith. You gotta search for outside of your house, and those people, you see those people gonna lead you. They don't know what you came from, so it's like they don't have that genuine love. You know what I'm saying? So you're looking for love in the wrong places.
That's crazy, because I don't know. I believe in generational, curses, but generational habits. Like generational things, of the mind. Because, I found out, I've been reading a lot of studying. I've been studying that, one of the things that people have a problem with is depression. And, actually, depression starts with your family. That actually is it
genetic?
Genetic. So that carries down through your family lineage, and that's something we have to probably address more amongst other African Americans, because we don't go to the doctors a lot. We don't ask for advice about our health. We don't, not particularly. So something like that we have to ask questions and start asking questions of what's going on in our DNA. Some stuff is, traced back to slavery. 'Cause, a lot of stuff was mismanaged amongst our people. So, it carries through that, and majority of stress and anxiety actually traces back to enslavement.
Yeah, 'cause the next generation suffers.
Mm-hmm.
Next generation suffers.
Yeah, so that carries on through line and line. So the question is, how does racism affect African American men's mindsets and behavior? Does racism play a role? Because it definitely does. You can't deny it.
Racism does play a role. It's more mental, even somewhat still physical. It's just I don't know. They just try to hide the truth from you. But once you know your truth, you know where you came from, how royalty you are. You can overcome those things. You form thick skin. Words will not hurt you once you know who you are. But racism does play a role of limitations on your progress. But then again, once you know who you are, you won't let no man stand in the way of your progress.
Like words like, nigga, docky, jigaboo, mammy, those like that, does that play a role in African American? We call each other nigga a lot. Nigger come from the word negro. Nigga come from the word negro, and negro come from the word black. But that's how they name a color. So
it became a slang. Nigga became a slang. Nigger, it's like a nigger is more like direct, nasty. Yeah.
Nigga, it either one ain't acceptable.
Yeah, it's really the tone.
It's the tone.
Yeah, the tone.
I
say that.
The tone.
Yeah, because it's different ways. Some you don't see as offended because, like I said, the tone and is it coming from a genuine love? You know what I'm saying, or is coming from a place with hate.
Like, what's up, my nigga?
Yeah,
that's genuine. That's
right.
love. That's between two people.
Exactly.
Of color.
Yeah, that's what we are. We're not African American. We are color. We just people of color.
But then a lot of black folk allow they white counterparts to express the word nigga in a friendly manner. Now, I've been a victim of that because I had a white friend call me nigga, and he got called cracker right back. So it was a yin-yang situation. But as soon as that word, that nasty slang come out, that nigger was a different time. We gonna fight.
Yeah,
we gonna fight. This, excuse me, I'm like, I don't know. We gonna fight. You call me a nigger. Ooh,
That's the problem.
That's a nasty. You done hurt my feelings, nigger. What's that, nigger?
Like, whoa. I'm like, what's up with you today?
Hold it.
Nowadays,
That's
people ain't
bitter.
taking that though. People ain't taking that, but you gotta move. You gotta move strategic. People do things to get a reaction out of it. You gotta be strong-minded. You gotta be strong-minded.
That's crazy, cause a lot of people, they don't have that will. They don't have that will. I don't know. Because don't you think generation and generation, they ain't say too much, but this generation, we ain't taking that. I'm sorry.
You gotta balance it. You might say too much, or you might say too less. You gotta know when. You gotta observe.
In that situation, they probably had to know when. And
But some of them, they didn't speak up. Now, like you said, we say too much and not even observe or analyze the problem or analyze, really observe what's going on. So now you gotta sit back, read, you know what I'm saying? Like, not actually read, but like look at your surroundings.
analyze.
Pay attention.
You gotta
Exactly.
analyze the situation before you act on the situation.
Exactly. Exactly. Or you let the situation overtake you.
Yeah. I don't think we do too much analyzing anymore. When someone say something, we gonna act. Then we analyze. So it's like saying, what's that saying? Act before you do. Do before. Something like that. I don't know. It's a slang that says that. But that's interesting. So the next part to this question, this section is: do we have role models? Do African American men have role models to look up to say, to stand? Do we have role models to look up to?
It's like prophesize, I feel like how Tupac said it, real model. You want to be real. You want to be your true self. Everybody wants someone to look up to them. They praise you as almost like a god. When you walking in your truth, people love you for it. Your purpose. People, once you follow I feel like everybody have one thing in common. From the Stone Age to now, everybody has a purpose. People that follow their purpose and living in their truth, people praise them, So that's the people that they want to look up to. The people that they look up to people that's really, really honest with themselves. Those are people that's going to outlast. Those are people legacy that's going to, to take further. So, it's like, just be yourself. Ain't no role, That's the problem with today. People want to be someone else, or people want to take the role that other people that they don't even know what they've been through to get there. You got your own story. You write your own script. Be true.
I like that. So, next topic we gonna shoot into, cause we moving along, is how does the environment where young people, especially African Americans, men, raised play a role? Like where our environment where we were raised in, how does it affect us?
I feel like we all was guilty. I know I was guilty of it, being a product of my environment. But at that point we playing survival, cause that's what we know. We ain't have things passed down to us, all that luxury and stuff. We had to figure it out ourselves, and then our grandparents, our parents, they taught us the best that they know. Some of them wasn't ready. Some of them was ready, but they just taught us how to survive, which is not complete. Survival mode is not the mode you should always be in. So it's like, I don't know. You got to figure things out yourself. So you go out into the world. You're curious. You move off of curiosity. So you get into trouble. You start being around friends, but you got to go through to embrace that story. So once you go through to embrace that story, you become more. You have to go through. Like,
has that impact, environmental impact, help you mature in a way?
Yeah, but some get it late than others. Some get it sooner. Like, I got it soon. Like, it took me one time. One time with the law or those friends that was really envy, or you gotta, like I said, once you know yourself, you gotta go through to figure out what's beneficial to you, what's beneficial to the soul and not the ego. So you go for the soul. You're gonna attract those positive people. The ego, those are people that build you up, that don't care about you, that's gonna lead you in the wrong direction. So You gotta be wise, but you gotta let the chips fall where they lay. You know.
Yeah. So you think so? Do you think that African Americans will overcome, especially men, will overcome these barriers? You know.
Yes, because I would say more men with power and men with a story of our color need to speak up, because while we do what we do, it's not a lot of role models. Real, let me correct it. It's not a lot of real models in the neighborhoods. They see them on TV. The revolution is televised. They see them on TV like they untouchable. Really, the real heroes was involved. They was involved. So I say the people that's in the position of power, people of color that's in the position of power and been through it, been through the ups and the downs, and fought through the hardship. They've been through the roads, the rocky roads. So they gotta bring their story back. I say the Frederick Douglass effect. You gotta come back and bring the story back. Like share your experiences so they can know they not alone. Because a lot of them, they go through, they depressed, they crash up because they feel like they're not alone. They feel like they're alone. So you gotta go back and pick the next one up. That's what it's about. It's not about self. You gotta go back and pick the next one up. Then we can work as a whole.
So you touched on you touched on the issue where you say it's not a lot of role models, but there are models. But so do you think that more like successful African American men need to get back to their youth?
Of course. Why not? You can't take it. You can't take that success and knowledge and wisdom when you're gone.
Mm-hmm. So do you feel like they're not doing enough?
I feel like they can do more. They can do more. They've done a lot by making it out, but it's always room to grow. They can do more. Continue to give back, and it comes down to the root of it. How do you want to be remembered? So keep the legacy going and give back genuinely, not expecting something in return. Yeah, that's how you get the real, genuine love back. What you give in, you get out.
What you give in, what you give out. Legacy.
Indeed.
Well, we're gonna wrap this up. I think this is very insightful for all young African American men who are going through an issue, a time of depression or anxiety or suffering or don't know what they want to do in life. But you have some brothers out here for you. And if this can help you, then it can help you. If it don't, just thank you for listening. That's all we can do. Talk to each other, motivate each other, stand by each other through thick and thin. Because we are what we got,
Absolutely.
I'm Corey Robinson.
I'm Charlie Williams.
Thank you for listening.
Love.